Let's get this party started!
To the ZBHO Dojo, everybody. Welcome! Today on the stream, everybody, we're gonna get into some critiques. Am I doing an anatomy lecture? I don't know. We'll see what's going on. But before we get started, taking names, turning on autosave. Let us give thanks and praise to the lords and gods of CGA. Starting with Frank Frazetta. Thank you, Lord. Frank Frazetta. Next, St. Joseph of Christ. Next, St. Paul. Look up here, look up here, look up here, look up here. Labori. Next, Ryan, the King of Slayan. And finally, Simon Lee. Spider of the Thank you for your education, your inspiration, and your overall badassness. How's it going, Dojo? How is everyone doing? How has everyone been? I hope you had a good week. I've had a decent one. You know, not the best, but it's pretty decent. I hope you all have had a great week. We're going to get into these critiques. Let me open these up. Alrighty. So, let's head over into the dojo. Ooh, extra close. Alrighty. So, this is from... Let me get my front desk cam on. Alright, so if this is your first time here on the stream, first off, welcome. Welcome to the dojo. I'm your spicy sensei. If this is your first time here, we do anatomy critiques here. We do lots of them, all right? We might go into anatomy lecture day. I'm in a lecturing mood today. So we'll see how that goes. But if you want your work critiqued, definitely join the ZBHO Dojo. Alrighty. So we're gonna go here. Let me give you a what up, Brimstone? How you doing, man? It has been a long time. A 10 of Slug, what's going on, brother? Brick and mortar all day. Brick and mortar. Gerardo, what's going on, brother? We're gonna get to you next. Talden, always good to see you here, brother. Always good to see you. Oh, glad to hear you're doing well, brother. Glad to hear you're doing well. How's the music? Too low, too high? Not enough? Got a unit to live in, so life is grand. Nice. Music too loud, too low? Let me know. All right. Maybe a little too loud, not much. I will take your advice, Mr. Brimstone, as you are a musician. Okay, so Gerardo says it's fine. Dissenting opinions. What's going on, Frederick Clan? What's going on, brother? Alrighty, so we have this one. It is by Astral. He's going for he wants me to critique this female here. So let me see what he said in the dojo. But yeah, if you want your work critiqued, join the dojo. It's totally free. We do sculpt offs every Thursday night at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. This will be the beginning of the second year of us doing this. And the first year reaped great benefits as 2 dojo members won this ZBrush Summit. That's right, we dominated 40% of the top lineup. Why? Because they're in the dojo And every Thursday, we do a sculpt off according to the ZBrush sculpt off rules. Okay? So you gotta sculpt, texture, and render all in ZBrush, and then post it in the forums, all right? Sometimes we have concept art, sometimes we just have a theme, but either way, we are going to train you and get you ready, work those speed sculpting muscles, so you have the best opportunity to win on the next ZBrush Summit. So definitely join, definitely join. What's going on, Mark? Nice to see you here. Wow, so many awesome people in the chat, okay? So Astral, this is a character you are trying to create right here. So this is a Fortnite, I guess. Okay. So she's not very muscular. Your character is like bodybuilder. She's athletic, okay? So if you're trying to make that character, she's got let's see. Like her arms are thinner from left to right. Her shoulder isn't as muscular. Yeah, there's some things a shorter. I mean, if you're trying to get this is, you know, cartoony, stylized, lots of mistakes happening, that type of thing. If you're trying to get it into realism, then it wouldn't look like this at all, right? But if you're going for Fortnite, then we need to thin up these arms. We need to take a look, maybe possibly even make her a little bit shorter. Yeah, you're gonna have to change a whole lot of proportions to make it look like this, okay? So, all right, so first thing we wanna do is kind of get the body style similar. So to do that, we are going to thin up the arms from medial to lateral. Let me get this AccuCurve off. Bring this in. Okay. Alrighty, all this needs to be way thinner. All that. All right. So I think do you have a skeleton in here? I don't think you do. Okay. So the traps are way too pronounced, and you're giving her a very bodybuilder feeling whenever it's more like an athletic model, right? So we want to be very careful. Your chest is really thick, right? And again, not a bodybuilder. Okay. So if we take and I would suggest start using polygroups. It's gonna make your life a whole lot easier. I'm pretty sure you decimated this just to save some space. I appreciate you. Alrighty, so Control W so we can get rid of this. Okay, because what we need is we need something a little bit more thinner. Okay, because generally women's torsos are not as thick as men just to the lack of testosterone, right? So we gotta be played much closer to the rib cage than we would for like an athletic male, right? So your obliques are looking good, but everything's diving down in here because your obliques are taking up too much room here. Okay, so if we take a look at this, you can see that your rectus femoris, this muscle right here, is going into your anterior superior iliac spine, which we don't want. Okay, so we're gonna draw in the hips, bring this down. Okay. And let's try to decimate this, or dynamesh it. So. Okay. All right, so we're gonna go 832. So we're gonna. Okay, yeah. Alrighty, so. Everybody can hear me, right? My mic's working. I'm sharing my screen, all that stuff, right? Okay, cool. I'm sad I missed it. Had to sort out moving house. Oh, no worries, brother. We're going to have it again this Thursday. And again, for everyone that's joining the dojo first, thank you very much. You just joined the most winning Discord in all of ZBrush. Okay? The most winning. So, congratulations, first of all. All right? But if you are going to join in the dojo sculpt off, you don't have to do it at the same time as us. You can do it before, after, whatever time zone you're in, anything like that. Just make sure you participate and you time yourself, right? So you'll just time yourself for 3 hours, adhere to the rules, and then post it when you can. So yeah, if you miss it, you know, join anyway. Okay. Alrighty, so let's go back here. Alright. So we've got the hips here. Okay, and this is going a little bit too far back, so I'm gonna smooth that. Let me get a BS. So if you got a high Dynamesh and you want to smooth it quicker, you have smooth right here, and then smooth stronger. So you can use this, and you won't be, you know, smoothing all day, okay? But what this is missing is the tilt of the hip right here, okay? So if we, so we need to do that, right? We need to have the anterior superior iliac spine, and then this come down, okay? And then your glutes are square. We want to bring them in. We want to make sure most of the meat is towards the center, right? And then as it goes down, then we're going to, as it's going to the lateral side, we're gonna have it dive off, okay? So you have some muscles here. I actually went over this today. Do y'all want a leg anatomy lecture? Do y'all really want a leg anatomy lecture? What's going on, Emmanuel? Nice to see you here, brother. Erdam Aslan. It's Heroes of the Storm character. Yeah, I used to play that. Mark Carroll, Dojo watch party for tomorrow's new release notes. Oh, you know it. I lose the polygroups when I decimate. Yeah, totally, Astro. That's what I figured. I appreciate you decimating it. Sergio Santel, what's going on, brother? Thank you for being here. Gerardo, I want to join the dojo sculpt off, but I'm kind of scared of it. Oh, don't worry. Don't worry. You'll have fun. You'll do fine. Hey, what's going on, Anna Paula? Thank you very much for being here. Thalarin, the spice must flow. 31ization. What's going on? Thank you very much. Bring it. Riding graboids. I like that one. I like that one. I need one. Yeah, yes, please. Never skip leg day. So we only have 3 people interested, 4 people interested, 5 people. That's it. So only 10% of you want a leg anatomy lecture? Then yeah, that's not enough. That's not enough. That's not even close to enough. 10%? You gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. Y'all want me to give you thousands of dollars of information for 5 replies? I don't think so. I don't think so. You're not going to get that for free. No, y'all are gonna have to put in some work, and I'm gonna need some response. So if you want a leg anatomy lecture, then I suggest you put one in the chat, right? Let me know. Let me know. All right, so we're gonna put that there. What's going on, Eric? What's going on? So we're get that there. The Tensor Fasciae Latae. IR in the house. If you're a ZBrush Core mini user, you can be in the dojo. Yeah, you could be sculpting in any program and be in the dojo. Tolerance smashing it. All right. Okay. So we got what? We got double. All right. So we're at 20%. We're at 20%. It's not the majority, you know. It's not the majority. Over 50. We need over 50. We need it over 50. Over 50%. And then I know, hey, yeah, everybody kind of wants one. Like 10%, that means nobody wants one. Right? Okay. So, let's see. IR sculpt legs for the peeps. Bro. Trichesterone, ectesterone, bone and marrow, collagen, protein, low calories. You know it, IR! You know it. IR and IR saved my physical body, everybody. He's like, hey man, you should check this guy out. Maybe you can lose some weight. And I was like, hell yeah, dude. And you know how much weight I've lost, people? I've lost over 30 pounds. I've lost over 30 pounds. All right. Alrighty, so being too rigid, how do you work on breaking that stiffness? Hen toys. As a toy sculptor, I have a problem with poses being too rigid. How do you work on breaking that stiffness? You want to look up contrapposto. Basically, it's one arm straight, one arm bent, right? And then this leg will be bent, and then this leg will be straight, right? That's contrapposto. If you move your chest off of your shoulders or off of your hips on a lateral or anterior or posterior, you'll automatically get movement out of that. Okay. I mean, if you have a collectible that you've sculpted or a toy that you've sculpted and you want to get rid of the stiffness, join the dojo, post it in there, and I'll give it a look. But you know, I can only speak in generalities. But yeah, generally, if you have the chest off of the hips, you're automatically going to create motion, and you need to have contrapposto. If it's so, you need to have curves and then straight lines, so that it's a little bit more action, right? 3D Pablo, all my homies joined the dojo. Alrighty. So, alright. So, let's go through this. Pop it, lock it, pop it, lock it, pop it, lock it, pop it, lock it. Alright, so let's talk about the leg. Y'all better pay attention. Y'all better pay attention. Listen up! Alright, so legs. Okay, first we need to understand bony landmarks. Alright, bony landmarks are going to separate you from every other sculptor that's starting out. And you really need to understand what's going on with these, okay? So, we're going to have these bony landmarks, anterior, superior iliac spine right here, right? It's gonna be the front of your hip, right here, that little bony bit that you can feel, okay? The next is gonna be the greater trichanter. So as a glute comes in and connects, it's going to connect right there, and we're gonna have a nice little bony landmark, okay? Next is gonna be the patella, all right? This is your kneecap, okay? So we're gonna do a policeman's shield here, or a fireman's shield, okay? Something like that. Now on each side of your knee, if you get your fingers and you touch that, you're gonna feel your epicondyle of your femur, okay? So epicondyle is gonna be these round bits on the left and the right. So whenever you're sculpting, those things need to be right next to that bone, okay? Next is going to be the shin right here. So all of this down here is to the bone. There's no muscle or anything. There's just skin, okay? Next is going to be the head of the fibula, right? So if you just feel on the side of your calf, right below your knee, I would say about 50 to 65 degrees down, right? After your knee, you're going to feel the head of your fibula right there. And that's going to be another bony landmark, okay? Next is going to be your lateral and medial moleolus here, okay? So right here on your ankle, and then this one right here, okay? And notice that your tibia is going into your ankle here, okay? So it's one bone. It's not another one bone and then another bone, right? It's the same one. Okay. If we go, so this is a front and this is a back. So this, those little dimples that we see in classic art, whenever they were painting the women with like a cloth over them, and you always see those little dimples. It's right here. It's that little bony landmark. Okay. Greater trichanter, just like this side. Lateral and medial epicondyle, just like that side. Moleolus, the same. And then the heel, and then the side of your pinky toe right there is also going to be a bony landmark. And then each toe is going to have a certain amount of bony landmarks as well. Okay. So let's take a look at this. Okay. So this is your kneecap. All right. This is your kneecap. So what this is you have the shield right here and right there, okay? Notice the epicondyle of this. It's basically a cylinder. It's going straight through, right? Cylinder, and then we're gonna treat the tibia as a square, okay? All right. So what connects the patella down here is a ligament. And a ligament is like an organic steel rod. This does not move or stretch. Okay. What you have at the top of your patella here is your patella tendon, right? Patella ligament down here, patella tendon up here. Tendons stretch, okay, and they'll have a little bit of stretch there. Okay. So whenever we bend our knee, since this is like an organic steel rod, its distance will never change from the bottom, right? So whenever you bend your knee, it's actually doing this, right? So this is the bottom of our kneecap. It's actually going this way. It's not doing this, okay, or that, or that, okay? It's coming from here always because we have this ligament right here that attaches to our shin and doesn't allow this to go up or down, okay? If this goes up or down, then you've most likely ripped your ligament, all right? So keep that in mind whenever you are doing that, okay? So let's see, what do we have? Okay, so here we are going to have the anterior superior iliac spine. We're gonna have the tensor fascia latae coming off of that. And then we're gonna have the Sartorius here, which is gonna come down and go around and attach to the head of our tibia right here, okay? This should not be veering off and waving as it's going down the leg, right? I want you to consider it a rubber band that you tack on there and you wrap it around your leg and then tack it onto your tibia, okay? So generally for males, this vastus medialis right here is going to overshadow the Sartorius when we're looking at it from an orthographic view, okay? Next, so we have the Sartorius going this way. We're going to change this music. Okay. So, where was I? All right, so we have this V right here, and this is where your rectus femoris is going to come out of, right? Rectus meaning up and down, femoris meaning on the femur, right? So we have this common tendon here that everything is going to feed into right here, okay? So next is going to be our Vastus Lateralis right here. And this is going to come in and go back up. And notice the 45-degree tilt that we have from this apex to that apex, okay? So whenever you have them straight across from each other, it's going to look like a cartoon chicken leg, right? Which we don't want, okay? At the end of the rectus femoris is the tendon that comes out and attaches to the top of our patella. Then we're gonna have the policeman shield and then the ligament down there, okay? So from the back, this is a front, obviously, this is a back, okay? Notice that the glutes don't go back up. All right? They go down here into our Vastus Lateralis and our Iliotibial Tract here. Okay, so it's going to go into there and then disappear. Okay, and then Vastus Lateralis, and then it comes back in. Notice that you can see this from the back, right? So I see a lot of people that their hamstring is their entire back of their leg, and it's only the very center of it. Okay, and then on this side you have the Vastus Lateralis. On this side you have all your adductors and Sartorius. Okay, so these hamstrings, they're basically originating from the center of your butt right here and coming out this way and coming out that way. Okay, when it gets right around where the Vastus Lateralis is ending, you're going to go off to this side, and then you're going to go off to that side, and so you're splitting it so that your calves can come out. Okay, so your calves are coming out here and there, and then this is going on this side to the head of the fibula, and this one is going off to this side and attaching to the anterior side of the tibia. Okay, so notice that it's just the very center of the back of your leg. Okay, and then on the medial side you should have all your adductors here. Okay, right here going around and also attaching to the anterior side of your tibia. Okay, so you can notice that on this side it's very straight up and down, and then on this side it's very curved, right? Because we have 1, 2, 3, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 muscles converging right on the tibia, so it's going to give you a very round feeling. Okay, their names are Greek. I'm not sure. I think so. Okay, so let's take a look at it from the side. Okay, so you can see here we have the crest of our hips. Okay, we have the tensor fascia latae. Okay, and then we have the rectus femoris coming out here. Let me zoom in so we can really see. Okay, so tensor fascia latae, right? Think of a coffee coming this way, all right? And then the rectus femoris is coming out here. It's not coming from up here. Okay, this is your Sartorius right there, just hinting right there and coming around. Okay, and then you have the gluteus medius all coming into the great trichanter, right? Our little bony landmark. And then you have the gluteus maximus here. Okay, and again it's going into the vastus lateralis right there. Okay, you're gonna have a long head, you're gonna have a short head which kind of just fills in the area, and then you're gonna see this tendon come straight down and attach to the head of the fibula. Okay, this right here is called your iliotibial tract. Okay, so whenever you look at someone's leg and they have like a flat part or this striation that's just going in a weird direction, that's the iliotibial tract band, or the ITB. Okay, so let's see. All right, so Ronnie Coleman, everybody want to be a bodybuilder, but nobody want to lift this heavy ass weight. So there's the crest of his hips. Look how far his obliques need to go into this bony landmark. Okay, so that's going to be the difference between muscular people and normal people, right? If you look at your obliques, they're pretty much just going straight down, right? But his are so developed that they have to go in. So whenever you want something to make it, if you want to make it look bulky, you can bulk up the muscle itself, but what you want it to do is dive down into these bony landmarks so that it looks full. right? Because if you just round it off, you're just going to keep on making it puffier and puffier and puffier, and it's never going to have a contrast to show how actually puffy it is, right? Because puffiness isn't on its own, it has contrast. It has something to compare it to. And that's always going to be your bony landmarks, okay? So, he's naturally gifted. He's got roids. He's got performance enhancing drugs. He's got coaches. And he's got years and years and years of working out and just killing himself, okay? And all of that is what you need to have a Sartorius this pronounced, okay? So unless your guy or girl is on steroids, performance enhancing drugs, has a coach, is physically gifted, and spent years and years and years leg pressing and squatting and doing adductors and all this stuff, then we really shouldn't see a huge muscle here, okay? So you can see the Sartorius this way, so you know that's going to be the anterior iliac spine, and you know that this is going to be your tensor fascia latae, because you're always going to have that B. And then what comes out? Look at this common tendon right here, and then all the muscle feeding into it. Okay. We have the vastus lateralis right here. We have the medialis. We have the vastus lateralis right here. And then we have the kneecap, right? Or the patella, and then the ligament tendon. Okay. So here we go. Alrighty, so we have the glutes. Let's zoom in a little bit. Go right there. Okay. So we have your lats coming in, attaching to the anterior superior iliac spine. Okay. You have your obliques right here. Okay. You have your gluteus medius going into your great trichanter. And then you have the gluteus maximus coming in here. The less fat you have, and he's like at 5% somewhere. I mean, like, he's in his single digit fat. And I would say closer to 5 than 9, okay? But if you have fat, then that will give you this bit. But if you don't have fat, then it will just come from the sacrum and come down, okay? So next, you're gonna have your vastus lateralis, and you see these striations here? That's your iliotibial tract right there, making those vertical striations, okay? And then you're gonna have your hamstrings splitting. And you can see even as big as he is, it's only taking up the center of the back of the leg, okay? And then we're gonna have the adductors and the semimembranosus tendinosus right there, okay? All right, so okay. So here she's turning her leg a little bit, so it's not a complete profile, all right? But let's just take a look. Anterior superior iliac spine, tensor fascia latae, gluteus medius, gluteus maximus going into the vastus lateralis, great trichanter. The vastus lateralis, you see that striation, that's your iliotibial tract, rectus femoris, vastus lateralis, biceps femoris going to the head of the fibula, kneecap, okay? And then you'll have the semitendinosus membranosus, and then the calf coming out, okay? Alrighty, so I think that's okay, so let's talk about the glutes. Okay, so we have the glutes here. There's that little dimple that we're gonna see on the back of the butt. There's the iliac crest. Here's the gluteus medius, and then here's a gluteus maximus. Okay, and it's going to attach all along the tailbone and then go and attach into the femur, but you're going to have your Vastus Lateralis covering this up. Okay, so from the side, Tensor fascia latae, Iliotibial Tract, Gluteus medius, Gluteus maximus, and going into the Vastus Lateralis. Okay. So here's your hamstrings right here, coming from right there. It's coming from one point. You're gonna have this go this way and split and attach to the head of the fibula right here. And then this side coming down and around and wrapping and attaching to the front of our tibia right here, okay? And there's the head of our femur right here, the epicondyle, okay? All right. Let's see, do I have anything else? Knees, knee. All right. So let's take a look at this, because this is where most of you are having your issue, okay? So we have the Vastus Lateralis. We have this tendon attaching from here, going to the tibia. We got another tendon right here attaching to the head of the fibula. And then we've got our patella right here. Notice it's at an angle when we have it straight, okay? So if I'm gonna break this down, right, from the front, we're gonna have a policeman shield, okay? A donut, and then the patella ligament, okay? Because there's fat behind your, there's fat not behind your knee, but underneath and behind your knee, there's fat, okay? So it's gonna be right where this donut is, okay? And that's gonna give you that sad face that you see on people whenever they have their legs straight, okay? So we've already established that up here is a tendon attaching to the patella, and that there's a ligament coming down here, right? So it's going to have an angle like this now, okay? But it's not going to change the distance that we have here, okay? So we have it fully bent, fully straight, right? This angle, fully bent, is going to be pretty much facing straight out from where your femur is pointing, right? But the reason it's doing that is because this tendon is wrapping around the head of the femur and pulling the top of our patella this way, okay? But again, policeman shield, donut, patella ligament, okay? Patella, donut, ligament, okay? Alrighty. Let's see, do we have anything else? I think that's it. Alrighty. So now whenever we look at your work, let's see what we can do. The bee's knees. Let's see. Let me catch up. Alpha Sensei, what up, Dojo? What's going on here? Appreciate you being here. Thank you very much. Another furry mandible creature. Oh, nice. Let's see. Thursday sculpt off. Yes, Spooky Boo. We will have that. Okay. We will have that this Thursday at 9 p.m., but you can join at any time, long as you time yourself. Okay. Spooky Boo. Oh, awesome. Had no idea. No problem. Carbon 4444. The bee's knees. IR sculpts. I like how you stuck the donut next to the policeman shield, right? That's the easiest way to remember it, right? You just put all that together. Raphael, thank you for being here. Patella donut ligament looks like an ice cream cone with one scoop. There you go. Whatever you do. The best way to memorize what the shape of anatomy is, at least for me, is by comparing it to food. Because I love eating. Okay? So, let's work on yours right here, okay? So we can see that this is a little bit too much here. So, we want to have that, okay? A little bit straighter, not such a subtle curve, a little bit more deliberate. So we're gonna have our tensor fascia latae. We're gonna have our gluteus medius, all right here. Then we're gonna switch to the gluteus maximus, attaching all along our sacrum, and then going into our vastus lateralis, which again is originating from our great trichanter. So generally what you want to do is you want to dome this out, right? So right here, just a little bit of a dome, right? A little bit more, a little bit higher in the center, and then it's going to dive off on each side, okay? But we should see it from the back here, right? And now we know that the hamstrings are originating basically from the same place and just splitting on each side, right? So boom, right there. This one is called your biceps femoris right here, okay? So it's going to come down. It's going to attach to the head of the fibula, which is at about a 65-degree angle here, okay? And so we're going to get this nice little ligament right there, okay? And then we're going to have the short head of the biceps femoris. We're going to have the end of our vastus lateralis. We're going to have that tendon going straight up and down, which is going to give us a straight edge. And now we're going to make some a policeman shield, a donut, and then the ligament, right? So generally with this, I dig on each side and raise that, okay? But you want to make sure that we're also hitting our epicondyle, right? Because this is a bony landmark. So we want to have some hint of this, right? And especially here on the inside, you're really going to have this dig in here, right? So we want to make sure we have the epicondyle of the femur. It should roughly be about the same. Right there, okay? Right there. And so we're going to have the, we're gonna have the Sartorius here. And what I like to do is I like to get an angle on this so I don't have to curve it around, right? I can just do a straight line instead. So I get this angle. This one's from Ryan Kingsland. He taught me this one. And then we're gonna go around and attach it to the head of the tibia here, okay? And go down, go down, go down, right? We're not building it up like Ronnie Coleman, okay? And then we're gonna have this go down, stretch out, okay? This is your adductors. This allows you to bring your leg towards center, okay? And so this one is gonna come out here, split, and attach right there. We're gonna have our vastus medialis. We're not gonna beef it up too much, right? We don't want it to look like a man's leg. Okay, so generally this will be a little bit, yeah, I would say that knee's a bit too thick right there. So you want to make sure your proportions are set, because if you have a larger knee than you should, you'll have a wider leg than you should, right? So we've got our Sartorius going this way, our Tensor fascia Latae going this way, and then in between these two is where the Rectus Femoris comes in, okay? So we have this common tendon right here, and then everything's just gonna feed into it. Okay, boom, boom, boom. We generally won't see that, right? Just letting you know. Okay. So right there, and then we're gonna have the Patella Tendon, the Patella Tendon, okay? All right, so we need to bring this down too, because your vastus medialis doesn't go all the way up here, right? It's pretty much right about here, okay? Right there. And then this is going to attach to the head of the patella. We're going to have the policeman shield and the donut, right? So it should boom, boom, and then have this ligament go down and attach to the front of our tibia, okay? And if you dig around each side of this, now you can bring your anterior tibialis and you can kind of beef it up a little bit. And now look at all that information, right? You've got all this, you got something diving down, you got something coming forward and giving that nice elegant front side of your tibia right there, okay? So, Yep, that's what I would do to kind of block in these legs. But in terms of proportion, you're gonna have to work with this a whole lot because if you're trying to make that other character, this body does not look like that character, right? I mean, I can give you the anatomy, and I can give you the building blocks, but you really need to come in here and change the look of all this, right? And make it look a little bit more like the HOTS character, okay? Alrighty. So, yeah, I think it's a good amount of information. I love towers. Very interesting. Thank you very much. I love sculpting anatomy. Yep, same here. Same here. Alrighty, my pleasure, Astral. My pleasure. Yeah, so work on this. You know, whenever I'm doing critiques, you know, you're always welcome, brother. Alrighty. So next we're gonna get to Mr. Gone with his Spidey. Okay. So let's take a look. All right, so if this is a collectible, this is very, very large. This is very, very large, right? We definitely want to shrink this a bit more because your base is about twice as big as your character, okay? So we would have to have a whole lot of history and a whole lot of things telling us what's going on with everything else, right? The biggest thing, I understand you have him looking at this, but I think maybe if it came... what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? I think if it came from here, came from the side instead, it wouldn't block everything so much. But even with this, it's still, I'd rather not have it. That way we can really show him off, right? You can have it coming around and behind him and like coming down, but whenever you put things in front of your character, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to sell it because we need to have the character the centerpiece. Okay, generally you're not going to have the environment be the centerpiece, right? It'll add to it, but regardless, the composition, the coloring, the texturing will all be focused on the character, okay? Everything else after that is secondary, okay? But in terms of anatomy, let's go. Okay. So it's starting to look good. If you're looking for teenage Spider-Man, this makes sense. Okay, if you're looking for adult Spider-Man, then we're gonna need to change some things. All right, oh cool, you got opposable symmetry here, so it should be pretty easy. Okay, so your clavicle is a little bit too high. So what I would do is come here and go this way, right? Go down, go at an angle, right? If we take a look at the skeleton. Okay, so you can see it's at an angle right here, right? I think your arms are raised, right? No, your arms are down. So we still want that, right? So yours is, we need to grab this and we need to bring this down. Okay, right there. Same with this. We need to bring this down. Okay. Oh, start singing. Oh, hero. All right. So we've got that. Okay. And so then our tensor fascia latae will be able to go into here. And then the lat is generally not going to bow out here. It's going to come from like here and then it's going to dive off. It doesn't get bigger as it goes to its attachment point. It generally gets smaller. Okay. So we know after the scapula, we can bring this, and this is going to be our serratus muscles here. Okay. And then the lat is going to insert into the back of the posterior iliac spine. We're going to say that's the anterior superior. We're going to bring this together. Okay. So right here, this is all going to be flat, right? We don't want to continue the crease into the sacrum right here. Okay, to be pretty flat. Like let's see. I don't know if that's safe for streaming, but yeah. So next, what we want to do is get our tensor fascia latae. Okay, so before you saw it as kind of like a teardrop, but since it's attached to the iliotibial tract, that track is kind of moving up, and so where it grabs onto is going to be more of like a fan here. Okay, and so we can do this. And you'll see that a lot. Like, let me get my pure ref out. Okay, that's what that is right here. This little bump right here is your tensor fascia latae. Right, and that only happens whenever you bend your leg at this degree, like 90 degrees. Okay. So, next what we want to do is we want to grab this tensor fascia latae and continue on with our Vastus Lateralis. And you can see yours is really angular here. And so what I would like to see is a little bit more So what we need to do is we need to add a whole lot more down here. Okay. Add a whole lot more down here. Okay. Like that. And then we're gonna have the Sartorius. Okay. So that's gonna be here. I think we're just gonna call today leg day. Is what we're gonna call it. Okay, remember it's a rubber band, right? Not clay, right? So we want to make sure that it's coming straight, right? Right there, okay? So now we're gonna get our rectus femoris that comes out from in between these two, right? Right there, and then the rectus femoris is gonna come from there, okay? It's gonna go down the center of the leg. Let's see. Might want to start polygrouping these things, just so you can have easier access to it. Okay. So we are going to have the rectus. And you see how it's skinny and then it gets wide and then it gets skinny again, which is okay, but we need a little bit of these adductors here to kind of fix this silhouette here. Because remember, there's not really a thigh gap for men, right? There's just not enough room to have a thigh gap in general. Okay, so we have the groin, and then the legs are closer. You know, all that stuff. All right, you know now. Okay, so then we're gonna have the rectus femoris, and then the tendon. That's gonna go around our, let me get my regular smooth barrel. All right, and then we're gonna have our vastus medialis. So it's just a little bit too small. Right there, smooth, 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 smooth. Right there, okay? So then this is going to come out and it's going to wrap around, okay? And then we're going to have the patella right here, patella ligament right there. Okay, and I think you might want to fix this mesh. So usually what I do to fix the mesh like this is polygroup it grab this and smooth it out. Well, yeah, this type of stuff bothers the hell out of me. I literally sit here the entire stream and fix this thing. So, back face masking. Ooh, okay. That bothers me. Bothering me. Okay. So we don't want the wrinkle of this leg to be beyond the bones that are within. Okay. So we want to bring this back, and let's see. We're gonna have the this attached to the head of the fibula here. I just don't think we're gonna get around this, which sucks. So we're not gonna be able to really sculpt that. Let's go to here. Okay, we want the Sartorius underneath here, which this should be popping out pretty substantially. Okay. Semitendinosus, membranosus going around the head of the tibia here. And then we're going to have the kneecap. At this angle, it's pretty much just going to face where our femur is going, right? So we just follow the leg and boom, it's going to be straight, okay? Then we're going to get the donut and then the ligament. Okay. And then the anterior tibialis, okay? So that's what I would do. And then the peak, since we're bending our leg, we're also pulling the, it's creating tension on the rectus femoris. And so it's not going to be so bulky, right? Not as much as if his leg was straight and he was flexing it. So we want to take that into account as well, okay? So here, the peak should be up there, and then it should start diving down, okay? Here a little bit more, smooth. We're gonna have the gluteus medius going into the great trichanter right here, and then gluteus maximus, and you can see yours is just ending, right? We need to bring it over, okay? And then since his leg is bent, his glutes are going to wrap around the hips and the great trichanter, right? It's not going to be as full as his straight leg back here, right? You know, the Instagram posts. You know, they all do it. Okay, so bringing this over, and then just working on the back of this leg, right? So we're going to have, it's going to come from here, from your sitting bones. Right there. Come out this way, come out that way, dig in there, and we'll be good. Yeah, we're not really going to see anything else, so we don't really need to sculpt it if we don't need to. Okay. So, and then let's work on this leg, because it's pretty much the opposite. You got a bent leg and then a straight leg, okay? So here, what we're going to do, again, Tensor Fasciae Latae does not create form, right? It locks down the muscles. So here, let's so yeah, we need to bring this over there. It's a little bit too much. Okay. And then we're gonna have the adductors. coming around and attaching to the head of the tibia. The Sartorius coming around, attaching to the head of the tibia. The semimembranosus, semitendinosus coming around, attaching to the head of the tibia. Okay. And then we're going to have the biceps femoris going and attaching to the head of the fibula. Okay, so boom, it should be pretty straight. It's not generally going to curve at all. Okay, so it's just going to go straight there. Right, and all these tutorials, all this information, okay, is in my art station. I have tutorials all there for you, and they're pretty damn affordable, right? So upper leg anatomy, bicep, tricep anatomy, pecs, rendering and key shot, deltoids, back anatomy, nose, or you can get the spicy bundle, which I suggest you get. It has everything here, as well as my weekly lectures that I put here. You get over 51 damn files. What else do you want? You're paying less, paying $1.25 a video. All right, I don't want to hear it. So you're also getting all of the individual sessions and the group sessions added every week. I'm gonna do that tomorrow. But whenever I do that, I just keep raising the price. So I would suggest you get in now while you can, because it's just gonna go up in price. Okay? So there you go. I thought you were going to start singing. Ooh, banger! Oh yeah, those moves. Inertia V, quick vibe session. You know it. Spooky Boo 282, never skip leg day, you damn right. Richard Jacobs, drop some bars in. No, I'm the hype man for Brimstone. Brimstone's dropping bars. I'm just his hype man. I'm just like, yeah. What? And then like I'll say a word with him, like, not caught. You know, I'll just do that. All right. IR Sculpts, it's completely worth it. You know it. You know it. All right. So check it out. I do not give coupons. Okay. It's well worth the value. Alrighty. So here again, we need to fix this and add more to the bottom than we do to the top in this particular case. Okay. And then we need, you have cartoon chicken leg. So we need to bring this down a whole lot more. Okay, we need like a 45-degree angle. And here we need a little bit more. Let's grab this. Okay. And then we're gonna have this come over here. And then your rectus femoris is gonna be on top, right? So you don't want your rectus femoris being behind your vastus lateralis, right? Your lateralis should be kind of like a shelf, right? You should see it from the back here. You can see it's getting skinnier and then wider when it should kind of come together a little bit more, right? So your glutes, again, are just stopping. You need to bring it into your vastus lateralis. You're going to have your gluteus medius, your gluteus maximus, and then come around and you see how this is right here. We're going to just go to the sacrum and then come around, and then we're going to fill all this in with your hamstrings, right? So right here, okay? And then we're going to get our policeman shield right here, right? Up and down, and then our donut, and then our patella ligament. Okay. Right there. Okay. Let's give this a little bit more to the top. Right here, smooth. Something a little bit more angular. Right here. You don't want noodle knees, okay? No noodle knees allowed in the dojo, right? No inward feet, right? No pigeon toe, no inward knees, none of that here, Okay? Pure athleticism in the dojo. Hamstrings, the good old loaf of bread. Oh, yeah. That's a good way to think of it. Loaf of bread. Okay. A loaf. Loaf a pan. Okay? So here we're going to have our biceps femoris tendon going to the head of the fibula. We need to hint at the epicondyle of the femur here. We need to cut this off, bring this tendon over, attach to the tibia. We're going to have another tendon right here attaching to bringing our epicondyle of our femur and going straight down into our ligament. We're going to make sure the inside is round, and then we're going to get that bony landmark of our tibialis, and then we need our anterior tibialis. And I hope you all know I'm just sketching this stuff in. I'm not trying to do it perfectly. That would take the entire session, and we need to move quick, and y'all need to absorb a lot of information really quickly, so I'm just sketching. Okay, so we're going to have the gastrocnemius, which is going to originate from each epicondyle here. So as we come together in the center, that's going to be the peak. Okay, and so here I would say you need a little bit more on the back end as we're bringing this Sartorius together. Right. Alrighty, people. So I have some news. Okay. Your boy's a senior artist at a game studio. No, I cannot tell you. No, I cannot tell you. Okay. That's gonna start in 2 weeks. So this is going to possibly be our last stream of the year. All right, I gotta dedicate myself fully to this job. I can't have any distractions. I can't have any of that. I'm literally going to be focusing 24 hours a day on that job and securing it as quickly and as permanently as I can. Okay, so this most likely will be our last stream for the year. After the new year, things will be settled down personally, and what's an LLY for job? And jobbly, right? Whenever that all gets settled, we'll be back. And you know, when I come back, when your homeboy comes back, you know, I always bring something, right? You always know a little pageantry, a little showmanship, a little production value. I'm just saying. Okay? So when we come back in the new year, it's going to be a whole new game. Okay? So, but yeah. So I will be, working at a studio full time. So, yeah. Still going to be having the sculpt offs in the dojo. So if you want to hang out or anything like that, you can catch me there. And on my personal channel on YouTube, just so I can get some hangout time with my brothers and sisters in the dojo, we'll always have Friday Night Live. Okay? So if you want to keep up, if you want to hang out, if you want to learn more, if you want to ask questions of plenty of professional artists, freelance, or working, you definitely want to come hang out. We do have a very good time on Friday Night Live. Mandibles, Batman Pop-Tart, Red Mecha, Thunderstorm Art, D's Inc., Belhaven. We pretty much hang out every Friday night, and just try to make each other laugh as much as possible. You know, what's the purpose of living if you cannot laugh? Okay, so definitely come and hang out, and I'll continue to post the videos from my sessions. I won't be taking any more students for the rest of the year. I'm already full as it is. and I had to move everybody to the weekend. So for the next for the next month, I don't have any weekends. It's literally all day from the moment I wake up till like late in the evening. I'm going to be teaching students. So so I appreciate everybody that has taken my mentorship. The groups has been awesome. Individuals have been awesome. You've all grown. We've all had learned a lot about each other and shared information beyond just sculpting, you know. Yeah, I look forward to seeing where everybody goes. When I do come back and I do start teaching, I will be adding game art to it, okay, at a AAA professional level. So hopefully y'all will be interested in that, and we can we'll have probably 2 classes, one for people to get better at sculpting, one to finish collectibles, and then another for like game art. But I won't be taking on 20 students anymore. It'll be a much smaller group than even now. We have 6, and I feel like that may be too much as well, because I'm rushing through everybody's critique. And even though they are valuable, and even though people are enjoying it, I just don't like feeling rushed whenever I'm educating people. So I will be bringing down the group sessions to 3, and the price will be going up. Okay, but hopefully y'all will be there whenever I announce it. Okay. But yeah, thanks for all the congrats. I appreciate you all. Yeah, it's all remote. All remote. Thank you, IR. Thank you, Carbon. Oh yeah, and Carbon. Jeez, Carbon, the master of methane, is also there on Friday Night Live. Okay. No moving. All remote. All remote. I would not have taken the gig if I had to move. Staying in Texas is very important. Probably paramount to anything else right now. So yeah, I don't want to go anywhere else. But yeah, most studios are moving to kind of remote gigs with optional in-person, right? So or they may transition after a while, but I don't think it's going to be years and years and years before that happens. As slow as regulations and government go, I wouldn't expect to be back in the studio anytime soon. But yeah, so that's what's going on, peeps. Okay. So legs look much better. They look much, much better. Okay. So let's talk about Carbon 44. I'm gonna have to write down the list of titles and nicknames you give me now. IR remote is the way to do it. Oh hell yeah, you know it, brother. Us sculptors can do our job pretty much from anywhere these days. Yep. With them, it's unfortunately, you can't go anywhere. Like, they give you a computer that is better not move after it's been registered. So yeah. Alrighty. So we'll be working on the tricep here. Coming over, and we want a long head and a short head. Okay, right here, and then a tail that goes around our elbow. Okay, right there. Will you keep us updated where the stuff you're working on at the studio is released? I'd love to see it. I don't know if my NDA is going to allow me. It's pretty strict NDA, so I don't think I will be. That's one of the things about working in a studio. You usually don't get to show your work, but now, you know, art dumps are very popular, so maybe you might be able to do it if they're coordinating something like that. but I wouldn't expect anyone to know what I work on. And that's fine. I'm not here for a name. Here to make money, and I'm here to have fun. Alrighty, so just eating away the shoulder a little bit so that our pec can come in here. Yeah. Right there. And then this right here. Alrighty, so obliques, we need to have the rib cage, and then this comes straight down. Okay. I have to be careful who I invite over these days. Yeah. Yep, pretty much. Which is cool. It's fine. But yeah, it's definitely, you know, I've had offers before. But back in the day, they always wanted you to move, and unfortunately, I wasn't able to. Was taking care of my father, and so that kind of the only remote work I could really find was collectibles. So that's kind of how I got into collectibles, and did that for 5 years, almost half a decade. But my original goal was to work in a studio. So, you know, it might not happen at your speed, but that doesn't mean that you quit, right? Because if anything, if I had that job, if I had this job back then, I wouldn't have been prepared for it mentally, right? So everything happens when it's supposed to, right? If you love what you do, just keep doing it, right? It's impossible to be passionate about something and not have people pay you to do it, because people want to see that. People want to see people passionate and good at what they do. And they always want to see it. Singers, dancers, guitar players, all that stuff, right? And usually with the love of the trade, or, you know, in this case, sculpting, people can see it, people can feel it, and you'll spend all day obsessing about it, and you'll just get better and better and better. So, you know, I don't know if anybody else in here is like, whenever you find out something, you know, like a new subject, you just immerse yourself in it, right? Like YouTube, talking to people, interviewing people, getting people's opinion, getting mentors or anything like that, you know, kind of just dive into it. So yeah, if you can do that, if you have the ability to do that and to take information or a philosophy and adapt it, and then twist it to where it's specifically for you, right? Then you can become very, very valuable in any industry, right? And especially in this one, because there's not a lot of experienced professional instruction. Like, that's not true. There's plenty of it. Yeah, I'd say most, you know, if you're the ones that end up in a job usually have a mentor or a class or something like that kind of had them skip a few plateaus. Because if you can skip a year, I mean, that's huge, right? Especially if you're like in your 30s, you don't have a lot of time, right? You want to go and you want to get on that job as soon as possible. So find a mentor, find someone who can take a year away from your struggles, right? And I mean, how much is that worth? I mean, it's worth thousands of dollars, right? Even if you just, let's say, $100 a day, and you want to skip an entire year, that's, you know, $36,500. Is the math right on that? 100? Yeah. 3,000, something like that. Okay. So if you can find a class for anything less than that, then you are on top, right? It's an asset to you, not a liability. You must have took 3 years off my practice time with your mentorship. Hell yeah, Shamarian. Hell yeah. Even 6 months. Even 3 months. That's a lot of time, peeps. That's a lot of time that you can save by paying someone to teach you these things, right? Like, I try to give you all the mentorship experience in here, but there's just, it's not really tailored to an individual, which is what I always did. I always tailored everybody's classes and everything like that to that specific person and where they are, what they're like, you know, all that type of stuff. So yeah. So if you can find a mentor, like the people that are on my they're on my wall of fame here, any one of these individuals you can get. Ryan Kingsland, Vertex School, Drust, you might have to convince him. Frank Frazetta is dead. Okay. Paul Gabry's got a YouTube channel, and I'm not sure if he's doing classes. But you might want to ask him. And then Simon Lee is always giving private classes. He does 4-week semesters. And if you're ready, if you have your anatomy on point and you're ready and you want to take it really to that next level and really understand how a master thinks, then you want to go take his class. Okay? You don't want to go to a master to learn fundamental things. You don't need a master for that. You need a master to take you beyond fundamentals, take you beyond where you are. Okay? Simon Lee started a Patreon. Get it. Everybody go to Simon Lee's Patreon and get it. Whatever he's charging, it's worth it. What the price I paid for his class has, I want to be very, very clear about this. I want to be very, very clear about this. In terms of what I paid and what it got me, I invested 3% by getting into his class. Now, where can you spend 3% and get 97% return? Okay, not many places, not many investments, but mentorships and stuff like that, you want to get into, right? You want to get into them as soon as you can, people. Out here on your own, just sculpting on your own, just like, oh, well, I feel like sculpting Batman, I'll just sculpt it, you know? And that's fine to a certain point. That's fine to be an average artist. But if you want to be a hireable, getting paid, a good amount, you need to be more than average. And you need a mentor to take you there, because there's no way that you're an average artist and you know how to get to the next step as quick as a mentor can just be like, oh, okay, you need to work on this, let me show you how to do it, and boom, everything's been demystified in one session, right? And that's worth the price. Just the fact that, oh, later, IR, thanks, brother, I appreciate you. Everybody go follow IR. He streams Sunday nights right here on Pixologic Live. If you haven't yet, subscribe, like the video, subscribe, and make sure you turn on notifications so that you can always know whenever these amazing artists, all these people, Thomas, oh my God, I wish I could stream as long as him. He's really, really good. So you should definitely watch his streams. He also does critiques. It'll be good to have another perspective on your art if you come here, because me, I kind of focus on anatomy. That's my bread and butter, and then compositions and stuff like that. But he's he's been working professionally longer than I have, I know that, so he's definitely got a lot to teach. So I would definitely go check him out. He streamed last night, so I think he's on Monday nights. So you can watch IR Sunday night, watch Tom Monday night, and then come in here. Well, not anymore, not for the year, but you used to be able to. But yeah. And then this chin needs to be a whole lot harder here. So we need to get this jawline. Yep. And then this needs to be a little bit sharper. So if you can find a mentor, go get them. Go get them. You need one. If you're not working, you need a mentor. Because, yeah, you can figure it out on your own. But why? We've already figured it all out for you. You just need to come in and learn it. Right? But if you're a do-it-yourself person, I totally get it. Totally get it. You don't want no one's help, and I get it. But there's going to be someone who's maybe not as independent and allows themselves to be taught, and they're going to pass you up. Unless you're just a genius. And how many geniuses are in the world now? Okay. But if you're a genius, then that's fine. Do your thing. What if you are working and want a mentor? Yeah, get one too. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, like you having someone who's 10 years plus ahead of you, just in age, is going to benefit you, right? Just so you can kind of get their experience, and you know they've already been through everything, through most of what you're going to go through. You know, in terms of probability, they're most likely going to have done everything that you've already done or want to do. And just go and learn from them, man. Go and learn, you know, save some money, take out a loan, whatever you need to do, and get that mentorship, because it will pay it for itself. Like for me, whenever I got out of Simon Lee's class, I got an offer from a studio, and it was because of the pieces that I was posting around that time. Because I was like, this is Simon Lee. I'm not doing anything else but this class, right? So I came out with like 2-3 pieces and posted them, and people wanted to work with me. So I mean, is that gonna happen for you? I don't know. Depends on how good you are, you know. But yeah, you know, if you ever want advice, join the dojo, peeps. Join the dojo. There's plenty of people in there that have been through where you're gonna go. Okay, so it's totally free. You do not need to be anything but an artist. All right. Hairy Mandibles, the dojo will level you up. You damn right. And then we have the dojo sculpt off every Thursday night at 9 p.m. This was what we wanted to do in one night. We got Anna Paula with hers. All done in 3 hours, everybody. All done in 3 hours. And now each one of these people can now 3D print this thing as well. Right? Here as well. And all these interpretations. Right? All of them. Okay. Look at what Astral did. Okay. All right. So join the dojo. Okay. All right, let me catch up on chat because I've been talking. Suddenly he has a Patreon. I gotta see that. Yep. Go get it. Let's see. Life is short and find a mentor. You're damn right, son. Golu Kumar. Hi, sir. How's it going, Golu? How are you? P. Virgil. Thanks, Carbon. How much time does it take to learn ZBrush? Depends on your instructor. Kind of depends on how focused you can be. If you're a hyper-focused type person, you could probably learn the program inside of 3 months. Now, being skillful and being a good artist, again, do you have natural talent? Do you have raw talent? If you don't, it's going to take you longer. So you better make sure you really, really love to do it. You know, I started drawing as soon as I could and pretty much never stopped drawing or playing the guitar or being creative in some way. So when it came to sculpting, all the other creative endeavors that I sought out and tried to master, I brought all those practice regiments and everything into this sculpting, so it was very easy for me to learn and to grow. But if you've never dedicated yourself to something before, you know, just be prepared. You're gonna go through ups and downs, and you're gonna plateau for a while as a sculptor until you finally figure something out, and then boom, then you're gonna get another level and another level, and then people are gonna troll you and tell you you're not good and that you suck and that you need to leave, and you're gonna post something and it's gonna offend somebody and okay. So you need to be able to go through all that. Okay. How can I become a mentor without bragging? You show your work, right? You show being a mentor, you need to have good work and have more experience than anyone you're teaching, right? So yeah, if you have those things, then you should be able to do a mentorship. Generally what you would do is you would create a YouTube channel, you would give away a bunch of free things, a bunch of free tips so that people can discover your channel, create a community, have them in there, and then whenever you actually drop something to sell, they've taken your free advice, it's worked, you have a positive community that you're trying to help other people out, and they should be open to buying your products or signing up for your mentorship. But it's not something that you go, oh, I'm gonna get together and now I'm gonna sell it, unless you're already a name, right? You need to stay in your lane and do basic sculpts. You damn right. Which you prefer for fun, Spicer? Sculpting from imagination or following concepts? I love seeing an image that's just already ready to go and all I have to do is sculpt it and print it and it's done. That's really, really fun. But which one do I like more? I like sculpting concepts more, but I feel much more satisfied creating my own sculpts. So yeah. But yeah. Alrighty, so we're gonna knock back this right here. Smooth it out. Right there, right? And then we're going to get the pit of the neck. We're going to get the Adam's apple and the cricoid cartilage right here. Thyroid, cricoid. And then we're gonna get those two little bumps, okay? We won't be too harsh on this jawline in terms of it coming out, but we definitely want the angle of the jaw there, okay? So, because if we just roll it in, then it's gonna seem more female. So we wanna have the angle of the jaw here. And then the mandible, okay? All right, and then we're gonna come from the corner of the eye and go down, and that's going to be the masseter here. Corner of the eye, going down. But yeah, I'm just sketching around, peeps, sketching around. But yeah, make sure to join the dojo, everybody, if you want to keep in touch. Definitely join. This is probably my last stream of the year. I appreciate everybody that has followed me this year. You've all been great. I've met a whole lot of people, created a whole lot of friends, met a whole lot of peers, and I appreciate y'all being here week after week. I will be back after the new year. I hope to see you here when I come back. But before we go, let us give thanks and praise one last time this year in the Scott Eaton Templar. Thank you very much, everybody. I appreciate you. I know everything's off to the side. All right, I know I gotta fix it. All right, I know. But it's our last time here. Okay, so join the dojo. If you haven't, go to my art station. Pick yourself up some tutorials. Level yourself up. And yeah, we'll see you next year, yeah? So we've got over 111 quadrillion galaxies watching the stream right now. But we're all one.